many more, and Everton escaping relegation, and there was so much celebration like they've won the EPL. I got a guest in the house who's a sport aficionado. He's followed sports all over the globe, and it's with my great pleasure that I'm introducing to you Christian Onuigwe, aka Emitex. Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here at on Sports Update with Ibrozano. It's been a long time. The last time we were in Otubo for musical, and here we are here today at for sports. It's a pleasure meeting you again at the studio.
It's a wonderful pleasure also to have you. And straight into the news, let's tell you that Joe Aribo has equaled Alex Iwobi's record in the Europa Cup final. What am I talking about? He scored in a game and then lost. So many seasons ago, Alex Iwobi also did similarly for Arsenal. Right now, he pulls the string for Merseyside, talking about Everton. And as it is right now, they were on the losing side, but amazingly, Joe Aribo has been hailed for his exceptional performance in the final of the Europa Cup by his club coach, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, the Dutchman. Even though they lost to German team Eintracht Frankfurt by penalty in Sevilla, Spain. Penalty is a lottery. That's why anybody can win. Even the side that don't normally play well in most final end up winning the game. So what's your take on it? Firstly, he has equaled Alex Iwobi's record. And also secondly, being amongst the players who have been hailed by his coach.
Joe Aribo, like you said, he has equaled Iwobi's record of scoring in the European final, and although he lost, but having seen the first minute of the first half of that game when he scored a goal, I thought, but being that the Eintracht Frankfurt, after defeating Barcelona, I gave them, I said this team has a force to win the European Cup. That was, they came from nowhere, and I wouldn't take anything away from Aribo. He did a lot in that match.
Absolutely, won't take anything away from Aribo. Thank you, my producer, for the visual on the screen there for millions of our viewers. Maybe those who have not known him and those who know him and seen him, they know he's a young lad. One of the questions that I keep asking is, how can you watch these guys play for their clubs in Europe, and they are different kind of players when they play for the Super Eagles, especially in the last Nations Cup under Cerezo Estin Eguavoin. A player on the national team side, he was kind of, he lacked class, but playing for Glasgow Rangers, there was so much class and panache around him.
Right now, Nigeria has a new coach in Pesaro and a Portuguese. Before the Nation Cup, it was like there's a talk on air that we are playing foreign born, no more foreign, no more foreign born, no more foreign players. In those days, you have to play at Sansfield at Ojagunle and play at first at different slums in Nigeria before you go to Europe. But right now we have so many players that are being born in Europe. I know African football is a little bit tougher. Even the one on the match against Ghana, like personally I was saying, you don't play first timers in such a match. You need people that can go all the way. Although they are all good players, but I don't know, with a new coach, let's see what's going to happen in future. Yeah.
Like you say, let's see what's going to happen in the future, and we're taking it from there. I'm also talking about our new coach. He's called Jose Peseiro, and he's been likened to Clemens Westerhoff. Not my word, but the word of Christian Chukwu, the one that in his days he was called the chairman. He led Rangers International superbly in his time, and he was one of the Super Eagles coaches, and in 1985, he was one of the assistant coaches that got the first under-17. It was then under-16 JVC Cup for us via the Golden Eaglet. And he said Jose Peseiro could be another Westerhoff. And maybe it's because he's been given the mandate to visit a whole lot of local league venues, talking about Nigerian professional football, so as to bring up rough diamonds, talking about local talents here, so that there should be a way of harnessing their talent and that of the European Armada.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, like going to our league venues, bringing players with prospect and blending them with European players. At times, look at our former coach, that was Raw. He said we had a match against CAR, one of the African
Central African Republic,
and he said that Teslim Balogun is not a home because he felt that the pitch is not even stable for our European players. So when we have players that are blended from the local league who can play anywhere in Africa, you know, it's going, you know, when you blend them with some European players, then I think we are good to go. Absolutely,
I like it too, because in the year 2001, Coach Amadou Shaibu, blessed memory, brought a certain Eric Ejiofor, an unknown player, to play against Liberia when our World Cup ambition there was almost scuttled by certain Liberia. And George Weah said he didn't even know this player that the guy almost killed him. And in football, you need such element of surprises, and the guys from the home league can to a certain degree afford us such luxury. And from there also we're still sticking with football, and this time it's a trailblazing move by FIFA ahead of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and the FIFA has currently picked 3 women as officials who are going to handle the game. But amazingly, the most high profile among them is Francis Stephanie Frapport, because she has taken charge of the 2019 UEFA Super Cup between Liverpool and Chelsea, as well as being the first woman to whistle a Champions League cracker between Juventus and Dynamo Kiev in the 2020. Yeah. This is a new innovation. Is it that of the male-female shindig, or the fact that they really want to make sure something different comes up?
When you watch football matches recently, you find out that a lot of violence have been noticed in football matches. So when a woman is officiating a male game like a World Cup, you know, I don't see a way, and no same player we want to go violent against a female referee. I think we bring the kind of blend we need to see. You know, I would definitely watch those games that those women are going to blow in 2022 Qatar World Cup. Yeah.
You think maybe because they are called the weaker sex, and also the fact that they may look at them, there's the emotional aspect there, it, yeah. So which will make a man not to try to you see intimidate. And also if you look at some of the male games happen handled by male referees, you see how some players badge on some referees. Like now FIFA has also brought up so many laws whereby if you're going to talk to a referee, your hand must be behind. If not, he has the right to take any decision. Me, I for one, have watched so many female referees in the Champions League, some being assistant, and also in other games where they've officiated, and I feel that it's a good step in the right direction.
It's a good step for the world to see a woman officiating at the World Cup, and it is going to be very interesting. I think it's one of the most interesting games we are going to see, because I think those women has a way of stamping their authority without looking back. Yeah.
It's a women have a way of stamping the authority on the game, and also let you realize that they are in charge. Yeah. It's this sport update coming to you from CAC Television. I remain your host, the most Adams Ibrozano. Wherever you're watching, for anywhere around the globe, it's so easy to watch us. Go online on our social media platform and we'll be there for you. Before we go to England, because there so many leagues have been concluded. In Spain, the Los Blancos, Real Madrid have won the league. In Germany, perennial winner, talking about Bayern Munich, they've won it. And in France, perennial winner for Ligue 1, that's talking about Paris Saint-Germain, they've won it. But 2 leagues amongst the 5 major leagues, talking about Italy, Serie A, and England, is still dicey and it's going down to the wire. The EPL title race right now is between 2 managers, Pep Jose Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, the German. One is Spanish, one is German. And they've got a storied rivalry, a rivalry that's kind of enamored with a kind of friendship and love for each other and mutual respect. Yeah. As it is right now, Manchester City, they are the defending champions. They hold a slim point lead ahead of the Merseyside giants, Liverpool, who never walk alone. anything can happen because the English have taught us that it's more of a Cinderella story always.
Yeah.
So what's your take? Are you giving it to Pep with his armada of stars there, or the certain Liverpool that never give up?
Well, Man City has the edge to, you know, like from reports, the real cup will be at Etihad, while the fake one will be at Anfield, you know, and to show you, but anything can still happen, just like what happened between Manchester United and Man City, you know. Say when the commentator was shouting, say Hollywood made this movie when Aguero scored that
brilliant goal, and it's 10 years ago.
The cup was floating in the air. But right, this one, the real cup will be at Etihad, while the fake one will be at Anfield. But in football, anything can still happen. So remember the miracle of that man. Yeah.
The miracle of that man. That was in 1989. Yeah. But this is a repeat of the 2019 season,
yeah,
whereby 1920 season, where the same Manchester City won the league by a solid 3 points. But what does it make you feel about the English league? That's the English Premier League.
Yeah, the English Premier League has proven over the years that is the best in the world, is the best in the continent, in Europe. You know, we've seen Liverpool, Tottenham final. We've seen Man City, Chelsea final. We've seen all English final more than any other, you know, country, like the Spanish league or the Italian league. So the English league has proven over the years to be the best, you know, in the world right now.
He said the English league has proven that it's the best league right now. Highly intensive, and it's a game where you have to be up and doing and always on the run, because you need to do something quick. You need to think fast and be smart about it. Also, we're going to take a little of our local content that's talking about one of our best players in Europe, right? It's talking about Osimhen, who's been offered £146,000 weekly for a 5-year deal by Manchester United. And also you have the Saudi Arabian billionaire club that's talking about Newcastle now, the Goodies, who are also offering something big. If we were in his shoes, where would you go? Manchester United, obviously they're going to play in Europe. Yeah. Europa Cup or the Europa Conference League. That is, and also an opportunity to be part of the new development they're rebuilding there.
Yeah. Like Osimhen, like playing for Manchester United should be a dream come true, because no player, even some that have not played, no player would like to miss a Manchester United contract. You know, wearing the red jersey, you know, of the
Red Devil.
Of the Red Devil. But Osimhen, he might consider two options. He might consider two options: going to Man U or going to Newcastle. Depends on what he wants, whether money or fame. Because playing for Manchester United will announce him, you know, to the world more, and it's a dream to play for Manchester United. He said
it's a dream to play for Manchester United, and I think I concur with him too, because if you look at their pedigree, their poles are miles apart. You can't compare Newcastle United and Manchester United. They might have had a very poor season, which does not pale. If you look at it, all their years, there is no time, no decade where something good hasn't come out of Manchester United. We're going to take a minute break. When we come back, we're on the home run. Whether you are on the continent of Africa Africa, or you're down under in Australia, or you're in the United States, or you're United Kingdom, or you're on the Arabian Peninsula, or the Italian Peninsula, wherever you are, this is the program for you. We say it the way it is without mentioning words. And I remain your host with the most advanced brother. Still got Emitex in the house. Christian Unigwe, aka Emitex, who's a sports aficionado. This time we're taking you to the French Peninsula, the capital of Paris, where something is brewing, which is not the usual thing about signing of players. That's talking about at Paris Saint-Germain, talking about the cosmopolitan side. PSG is making one final attempt to keep golden boy of French football, Kylian Mbappe, from moving to Real Madrid, where it's almost cast in stone. He's going to head the project. Firstly, he's been offered £100 million sign-on fee, a weekly earnings of £1 million. Then he's going to head the project whereby he decides the players to sign. He also decides the manager the club wants to sign, and he can fire any manager he wants. My concern basically is this is not ordinary. Also, he has his players who are his bosom friends, who will always want them on the pitch. Does it bode well for football?
Well, like when I read the article, it was something unimaginable. A player to have the power to fire coach and fire player, yeah, also it's like it's part of the project. Anything he decides is going to happen, you know. It's crazy, you know. But I don't. That thing can't really survive because you can wake up one day and say everybody go.
It depends on maybe when his mood swings.
Yes, so, but all they are doing is just to keep him. Just, you know, it's like, you know, in fact,
more like a Greek gift.
In Africa, they will say the young man has gone babalawo.
Well, it's so funny because he's one player I like a lot. Speaks about 6 different international languages, and he also speaks a little bit of Yoruba, and he has a Yoruba name. One of these days I'm going to reel out the names, and speaks fluent English besides his French language, Spanish, and what have you. And he's a great player. He'll make anything better. If he decides to move to Los Blancos, fine. But if he stays at PSG, fine. I personally want him to stay at PSG, but not with those astronomical financial figures. Let's take a little of boxing. Your brother, my brother, who represents Britain, Anthony Joshua, he disappointed everybody at the Tottenham Stadium when he lost to the Ukrainian Alexander Usyk. Now the rematch is coming up very soon. It's going to be announced next week. Obviously, it's going to be in the Middle East. The last time he lost to a boxer, Andy Ruiz Jr., who was more like a sumo wrestler then. He lost in US, but he regained his title back in Saudi Arabia. Now this fight is going to take place in the Middle East. Do you think he's going to be twice lucky?
He might be twice lucky because he has changed his training pattern. He's discovering what he has not discovered. You know, Usyk, you know, is a boxer, but I think he can win it one more time.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope, because good attitude, well-mannered guy. I like him personally. That's talking about Anthony Joshua. This is not about because he's got Ijebu blood, a Nigerian blood, but he's one boxer I like personally. And also, let's take you ahead of the Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid.
Good.
Karim Benzema is warning his teammates. You need to be 100% fit and also play well to the best of your ability. That's one part. And the second part is PSG is ahead of Bayern in the negotiation to sign the Senegalese bomber, talking about Sadio Mane.
So, Champions League final, like we are saying, is going to be very interesting. You know, the hottest player in the world right now, Karim Benzema. You know, he can't stop scoring. You know, playing along with Vinicius Jr. has made him a better player. And you see the way he, in fact, nothing will stop him from winning it this time, and he's going to be the next World Ball of the Year. If I may say, I think he's on the run.
He's been fantastic for Los Blancos, breaking Cristiano Ronaldo's goals, and currently is the oldest man to have scored series of hat-tricks in the Champions League. And now, Sadio Mane has a year left on his contract, and the Bavarian Giants are on the threshold of losing their record goal scorer. That's Lewandowski, Robert Lewandowski, the Polish bomber, who wants to leave and who wants to sign for Barcelona and stay in the land of the Armada. He too has a year left on his contract. Now, getting a Sadio Mane will be a big bonus. Lewandowski is 33, will be 34 later in the year, and Sadio Mane is 30. And when you watch Mane play, he gives his all. PSG has entered because they're going to offer more money. And remember, players, they're always going to play, remembering the rainy days, and they're going to make sure they secure their future. If you're offered £18 million by PSG, try to now I'm talking to you like I'm talking to Sadio Mane. £18 million, and a certain Bavarian giant offers you £11 million. Which would you take?
For Sadio Mane, if I will have to go to any club, I will go to PSG, because PSG needs the kind of his player to be able to achieve what they are actually looking for. He has the fighting spirit to to win games.
The ruggedity, the resilience.
Yes, that's what they need. That what they are lacking in their attack. They need somebody that is going to take more risk in that attack.
And like you said, they need people who take more risk, because the unpredictability, and also the fact that some feel that PSG's problem basically is that of a mental block. When push comes to shove, it gets to that level, they forget the fact that they need to do the needful. And from there also, let's also take you to Italy, where Juventus are eyeing Jorginho Pogba rates. Pogba's own is almost cast in stone, because his representatives are already in Turin, and they've almost finalized for him to make a return to Turin to play for Juventus. Again, the last time he played for them, he joined at the age of 19. He became a better player, signed for Manchester United. He didn't really work out the way he wants it to be, but on his day, he's a classy midfielder. Going back to Turin, and Jorginho, who's done himself so much good in England with Chelsea. What's your take on this double raid
by Juventus?
Yes.
Juventus, like they always want to win things.
The old lady of Turin.
The old lady of Turin. So they're going for, if Pogba should go back to Juventus, and because Manchester United is rebuilding, and players like Pogba, who has one or two issues, so for now, I think Juventus will be is a better option for him. They get two of them, Jorginho and Pogba. I think they will be a better team.
He said there will be a better thing. And also, let's not forget Chelsea, Spanish wing back, talking about Alonso, who's already in a contract negotiation with Barcelona right now. He's got a year left on his contract, and even Chelsea captain Cesar Azpilicueta is also on the move to Barcelona. The reunion, some say maybe because of the issues Chelsea have found themselves in, but good enough, the takeover is almost concluded. And you look at players who are in their 30s, approaching the twilights of their careers, and now returning back home to their old stomping ground. Would an Alonso bode well for Barcelona, knowing fully well that the first choice there is also doing well and is also in his 30s?
They will definitely do well. The English league is a very fast league. 30 plus, Alonso and Azpilicueta going back to Spain to do them good, because the game in Spain is a little bit slower than the one we see in England, which is you keep running and running. And going back home will be a better idea for them.
He says it will be a better idea for them, because there's an age you get to where you need to slow things down. And people talk about why a player like Ibrahimovic, who's already in his early 40s, is still doing it well in Italy, because it's a very tactical league, but the speed is not there. So most times you tend to calculate with your head. You use your brain more than what you put on the pitch. Now, the player I love to call the miracle of God's creation and God's love for humanity, Eriksen. the Danish player who almost died last year during the Euros.
Yeah.
He came back from everything. His contract had to be terminated by Inter Milan because they don't allow a defibrillator in Italy, which is allowed in England. We check the how the heart rates and whatever. And he's done so well with a modest side in Italy, in England, Brentford. Just 6 months contract. And now he's distinguished himself so much that 3 clubs have approached him. Tottenham, his former club, Manchester, and even Chelsea. So what does it... The aspect I'm looking at is the fact that victory for life, this other aspect is a bonus.
Yeah, like Eriksen, like you say, it's a miracle for him to come back. I will wish him all the best. You know, as many years he can still be there. It also remember Kanwan who has such an issue and came back stronger, and you know, and he didn't just go down like that. So Eriksen is good to go. You know, God who runs miracle, you know, can do anything.
It's a God who runs miracle, can do anything. And each time I watch the game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, where they annihilated Chelsea at home, 4-1. He scored one of the goals, and immediately, what was running through my mind while watching was the scenario at the Euros and how Simon Kjær, the captain, did greatly to make sure the wife did not really see some of those gory scenes. And like I say, it's victory for football. Now we'll come back, we're on the home stretch now. We just got a few minutes left, and because of the brevity of time, I want to ask you one question. Being one who is a sport aficionado, you've watched the league for a very long while, you covered. What is really the problem with Nigerian Professional Football League?
Like in those days, I've seen some Nigerian Professional League. Like when I went down to, I went to watch Dodge United with us, you know, one other club. People closing markets, going to watch football. But right now, I think violence and at match venues, and has been a major problem, and the officiating also being a major problem. It must not be win-win for home teams. They, you know, they need to allow the game to go normal. If you play well, you win. And at the same time, we needed sponsors. Now, people at the head of people going to buy clothes overseas from Nigeria. Why don't multinational company like MTN, you know, all this, you know, buy clubs and build stadium and make it, you know, better so that we can enjoy Nigerian League. I think we have the talent here to, you know.
Absolutely, I agree with him. And as we go, one aspect that he touched on that keeps baffling me is the fact that Nigerians buy clubs abroad. And each time you read some sketching or sarcastic rumors or gossip in the media about one of the richest men on earth who is a Nigerian wanting to buy Arsenal, I just laugh myself to scorn. You've got the capacity to build a very good club here. If you look at the Congolese side that did well in the Champions League, TP Mazembe, look at everything was done. Even the president had shares then. Everything went well. Yeah. So that's the much we can take on today's edition. It's an abridged version of your favorite sport program, coming to you from the continent of Africa, Nigeria, the most populous black nation on earth. I remain your host with the most, Adams Ibrozan, and I've got my guest, Christian Onuigwe, aka Emites, who's been doing justice to all the issues that came up, and it's been a great pleasure having you on the show.
It's a great pleasure to Ibrozano. I'll say come more on this program. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you, and to millions of our fans, I call them fans, and viewers all over the world. You guys are the real reason why we come here, do this in all the tenants. Take our leave. God bless you. See you again on Monday.